climb across this stair, and to see our cupola hall. That's the magic place, the Hall of Fame of our museum, where you can see portraits of all the emperors, of all the kings, of all the archdukes who contributed a lot to our collections. And nowadays, I think it's the most beautiful museums cafe in the world. We put our cafeteria or restaurant right in the middle of the cupola hall, so you can enjoy your coffee, you can enjoy your lunch within the most beautiful part of the museum. Every Thursday night, this place moves into a fantastic gala ballroom for our gourmet dinner on Thursday night. You can book there individually. You can come table for 2, table for 4, whatever you want to. And I think it's the best place in Vienna to get the imperial feeling with very good food, Viennese wine, and of course the most beautiful art collections that you can imagine. Now this is for art now, of course, one of our icons, which, what a pity, wasn't allowed to be moved to Atlanta because it has to stay in Austria, that's federal law. Bruegel's Tower of Babel. We've got the largest Peter Bruegel the Elder collection in the world. This is our Bruegel room, so it's really a once-in-a-lifetime event when you're in the Bruegel room, because you only can see this in Vienna. But of course, there's not only Bruegel, there are all the big names of art history, like in the German-Dutch department, Dürer, Cranach, Holbein, Rubens, Rembrandt, Vermeer, the Bruegels, of course, Bosch. So in the Italian department, again, it's Titian, it's Tintoretto, it's Caravaggio, it's Raphael, it's Correggio, Velázquez. So it's really the who is who of art history. And you can see in our primary gallery 800 paintings, and we have another, let's say, 2,500 in store. So I think we're the only museum in the world that has Rubens in store in the gallery, because we've got so many of them. So from time to time, when we do a big exhibition like now in Atlanta, we can move the Rubens from the store to the gallery, which is quite an event for us too. But it's not only paintings in the Kunsthistorisches Museum. Our history reaches back to old Egypt time. Our Egyptian collection is one of the finest in the whole world. We've got a collection of Greek and Roman antiquities. There's a coin cabinet. We've got ancient musical instruments, arms and armor, as you can see in the exhibition over there. So there's a widespread collection. Everything that Habsburg collected throughout the centuries you can now see at the Kunsthistorisches Museum. We've got a new wing. We opened a complete new wing to our museum in 2013, the Kunstkammer wing, a real realm of wonder and fantasy. You saw a few Kunstkammer objects over there in the exhibition. In Vienna, the Kunstkammer is on 3,000 square meters, and you can see there 2,200 masterpieces. And of course, you can see there the Saliera by Benvenuto Cellini, one of the finest gold objects in the world. Here another impression of the Kunstkammer with all the exotic objects coming then from the New World, being a myth, being magic objects for the Old World. So they were put into nutshells, were put into gold and silver, just to show that the Habsburgian court really ruled the whole world. That was a sign of power. Another sign of power you can see at the Imperial Treasury, just next to the Kunsthistorisches Museum in the Hofburg. This is a worldwide unique masterpiece. It's the crown of the insignia of the Holy Roman Empire. And this crown crowns throughout a millennium all the emperors of this Holy Roman Empire, beginning in 800 after Christ and ending in 1806. So the Imperial Treasury really is the one spot in the world, I suppose, where European continental history can be explained at one place. It's really a magic venue. It takes about an hour and a half, and you get the complete history of continental Europe, so it's really a place to be in Vienna. Also at the Imperial Treasury you can see the crown jewelry of the Austrian Empire of the 19th and beginning of the 20th century. The crown actually used to be a private crown of Rudolf II. It used to be his private crown of the Habsburg before it became the official crown of the Austrian Empire in 1804. But it's a magic object too, and these two crowns really are the very masterpieces of the treasury. You've seen two of our wonderful carriages. Next to Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna you can find the Imperial Carriage Museum, whose director joins us today, Mrs. Monika Kurzel-Rundstein, also the chief curator of our special exhibition in Minneapolis, Houston, and here at Atlanta, Georgia, who took you through the exhibition. And that's really, when you visit Schönbrunn Castle, you shouldn't miss the Imperial Carriage Museum. And you all know Edelweiss and the Sound of Music, so we're also in this topic, because in the very western part of Austria, you can do fabulous skiing there at Ambras Castle in Tyrol, in the western part of Austria. That also makes part of our museum's group. Ambras Castle is really a wonder of the Renaissance world. It's a Renaissance ensemble with all the collections also to be seen at the Kunsthistorisch Museum. You can see them there. Actually, it was invaded by Napoleon in the early 1800s. And many masterpieces from Ambras Castle were saved and brought to Vienna, and we quite participated from that because we never gave them back to Tyrol, and that's how the richness. There are some inner Austrian restitution debates, you know, but we have many of the Ambras masterpieces now in Vienna, but Ambras Castle, if you're in the western part of Austria, you should really go there. So, okay, lunch is over. The bus outside is ready. We go to Hartfield. I will take you out in about 2 hours. We'll be in Europe tomorrow morning, and we open at 10 a.m. See you there.